Hi all. This is I guess, the conclusion, so to speak, to my first IVF experience and vlog. I guess you can kind of tell from my demeanor that I got my HCG test and it was negative. So, in that respect, it was a pretty rough day yesterday. Not that I didn't expect it, not say that I didn't expect it to happen, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I just had so much hope and enthusiasm and faith that it would come to pass. Imagine the disappointment when it didn't. And then I thought, oh my gosh, so what happens to those 4 blastocysts that I had put in? Well, after having a conversation, I'll talk to you a little bit about that, but you know, when I went to bed that night, I just kind of said a prayer for those 4 blastocysts, because to me, those were 4 of my children that I guess I just won't get to meet until, you know, I see them in my Father's house. So, with them, I just gave them my blessing, and thank God for the opportunity to have seen them on a picture that they sent when they you know, took pictures of the embryos as they were dividing. So, to me, you know, that was my face-to-face meeting. What has transpired in the meantime? I'll have to say, you know, there's a lot of emotion that goes along with in vitro. And for us, you know, for a family where God is the head of our household, what it did, my husband and I are not in total agreement as far as, you know, whether or not we should proceed. For that answer, I'm going into deep prayer about it. We believe that in order for anything to succeed, we need to have God first, and we need to be in agreement as husband and wife. I would never do anything that he is in disagreement with, and nor I. So in order to be a unified body under God's authority in this, and you know, I don't mean to preach about it, but you know, maybe I do, you know, in season and out of season. So you know, we just have to be in agreement about it, and until we are, we're not taking another step, you know, with this process. We're approved for 2 more cycles, so we're early on. We've got till around this time next year to use those 2 cycles. What it's doing, I'll tell you what it's doing for me spiritually. I just have to sit and wonder, not wonder, but just pray to God. Why is it that my spirit seems to have peace with it, yet my husband's spirit is saying no? To me, that's a problem. And until we get a resolution and an answer, maybe God doesn't mean no. Maybe he just means not yet. Maybe he means wait a while. Maybe there's something that we need to do first before we do it. My husband is big on, you know, counting the cost before. And I'll have to admit, it has been really, even though we've had insurance, it has been a really big financial sacrifice. And maybe it's something that I need to get in line with, because I have to say, when we believe in doing tithing, and when you are not tithing, you are essentially robbing God of the 10% that he has instructed us to give back in obedience to his command. And when you do that, sometimes you kind of thwart your own blessing. So maybe, and I have to say that is a part that I did, you know, I messed up here, because I did not submit my tithes first and foremost before I started pouring money into this IVF procedure. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe we just have to be in order, you know. Again, I'll be in prayer, deep prayer, this weekend and, in some of the days, weeks to come. We do have another appointment with our physician. What they do is after each failed cycle, they do meet and kind of dissect the cycle and see what went wrong. With me, having been a nurse sometimes, like I said, that sometimes gets on your nerves more than it helps. All of my response to drugs were good. My tubes were open. There was no defects noted in my uterus. The lining was good and thick. The eggs the quality of the eggs, although not they weren't grade 1, but they were 2. They were, dividing like they should. My response to the stimulus, the stimulating drugs for follicle stimulation were good, and, we got 6, and I don't think the doctor even, thought he was going to get that many. So, in that respect, everything went like it should and should have, according to, the laws of medicine and the laws of the world. It should have came out successful. But again, there is a higher authority, and if God says no, God says no. And it just didn't work out this time. So, pray for us, and I will for all of you. Thank you so much for those of you who have sent prayers to me. I know you're probably looking at some of the other things I didn't mention the other time. If you notice, my face seems so swollen and bloated. It does happen, in response to a lot of the drugs. It does go down, but over time. There's a lot of abdominal bloating, which again I'll say, it does go down over time. And just my plan, as I'm prayerful and going on, what I'm going to be doing is, making a commitment. I have not really made a commitment to take care of me, so how am I going to take care of, some new babies that come in here? Maybe that's the point. So, I guess I'm making a plan to get up 5 a.m. every morning. In the apartment complex that we live in, there's a health facility we can get to 24/7. And I think, and I'm not, in the weight that I really should be. I'm overweight, so to speak. So anyway, maybe if I eat right, take care of myself a little more, maybe that'll add to my commitment to wellness, to wholeness. I should have been doing that anyway. So in those times, I'll just look at that as my meditation time. I take my praise and worship music with me to the workout room and do my little walk out on the treadmill and the stair stepper, and just have a praise and worship service, and just me and God time. And maybe in the midst of that, we'll get an answer. So, like I said, pray for us. We'll all pray for you. Thank you for all the comments and all. This is not the last you'll be seeing of me. I do have other topics now that I'm getting used to the YouTube thing here. This is a new format for me, so I'm getting used to it. So anyway, you'll see more of me when we'll talk. And I'm pulling for each of one of you as you go along in your experience. Just remember, keep God dear to you. Keep your faith first. Hang in there. If it's for you, what God has for you is for you. So hang in there. Until then, God bless.